And welcome to week 3 of our class here. Again, this is SCI 1015. You should be able to see the screen here for week 3. So week 1, again, we introduced the scientific method. We looked at some very basic things with life sciences and chemical basis here. Week 2, we went into cells and some of the organelles and the origins of life. Everyone did a great job in their discussion. And then week 3, we're going to go a little bit deeper into enzymes and cellular transport. So we're going to look at to see how the cell regulates what can come into the cell, what goes out of the cell, what they prevent to coming into the cell, for instance, like viruses and bacteriums and things like that. We're also going to look at metabolic functionality as well too. So your readings for this week, you're going to read a couple sections in chapters 3 and 4. So for chapter 3, take a look at 3.4 to 3.6, looking at the cell membrane, passive and active transport. And then for chapter 4, take a look at the section 4.1 and 4.2, looking at energy and metabolism, as well as glycolysis. There's a PowerPoint presentation to go along with those readings to kind of help visualize some of those things that you're going to be under, those concepts that you'll be reading about, because it can be a little bit in depth. So hopefully the PowerPoint presentation will help you out. Your discussion for this week. So there's this article here called Metabolic Diseases. Let's take a look at the article. And for this, you're going to choose one of the disorders that this article talks about. So here I'm going to highlight what you're going to put in your initial post. You're going to talk about the disorder. So what is it? What does it involve? What is the role of the enzymes that causes that disorder? How is its activity affected by the defect? So for instance, if it affects a certain protein, what are those effects? And are there any treatments being studied for this particular disorder? Be sure to include at least one outside source, as well as any other sources that you list in MLA format. You can use MLA or APA. I'm pretty flexible for either one. Sorry, I had a little bit of glitch there, so hopefully this is recording. So your responses here, what I would suggest is pick a disorder that you didn't write about and just kind of, just say, hey, I haven't heard about that. That's very interesting. Or if you can, if you are aware or you have a family member or friend with that particular disorder, you may want to talk about that as well too. You have a quiz to complete, so make sure you do that, looking at how enzymes work. You have a couple assignments, one being transport proteins on strike. So take a look at this case study and then address these 9 questions regarding that case study. And then you have a paper checkpoint on research. So here are the research guidelines I'm going to highlight right here. So make sure you have at least 4 sources. Use the links here after it has it here. So you're going to look at attach a Word document about a page of bulleted notes about the claim. After each bulleted note, make sure you have that source cited as well. So take a look at what is required for that. It's just basically making sure that you are on task with completing the checkpoint, that health claim topic or the health claim paper that's due later in the semester. So again, let's do this week. Your discussion on the metabolic disorders, your initial post due Thursday, your 2 follow-up responses due by Sunday, the quiz, the transport proteins on strike assignment, and your week 3 checkpoint on research all due Sunday. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to some really great discussions and learning more about some of the metabolic diseases coming from that article in our discussion format.